Probably move the camera up a little bit too. But hello guys.
Oh, we're back.
Sorry that
Yeah, scoop that thing
that
up.
happened, right? We internet's kind of iffy where I am, so not the most stable. So I don't know. We're trying to explain, we probably missed out on it, but we're trying to explain that just investing gets you, like, just do as much as you can when you can, especially because your 20s are so important, dude. It is not the time to throw everything away. Like, people live in, like, what? Like, if you don't,
Nowadays, people are living.
if you, no, there's like two things. If you remove people who are like heavy drinkers, smokers, and all that stuff, and people who like, if you live past, I think, 50, and you don't smoke and drink, and you remove the people, like, the average before that, but the average, someone dies at like 20 over like drunk driving. That
I mean,
drastically lowers the
Yeah.
average. So if you take in,
Liver
I think we're at the
cancer.
equation, but if you remove like those people and get to a certain age, you don't drink, like, heavily, and you don't smoke and that stuff, you'll live into like 90s at the very least. Probably our generation, hundreds.
Yeah.
Not hundreds, like multiple, but I mean like into your hundreds.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, 100%.
And
My
dude,
granny's in her 80s.
you want your money, bro. Like,
Yeah.
dude, I see
Definitely.
80-year-olds who are able to do things, man. If you're healthy, like I would rather be struggling in my 20s and maybe like early 30s and like live my rest of my life like really
Chilling.
freaking nicely
Yeah.
than just live my life nicely now and suffer the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Because I've seen there's people that are old and they screwed around their whole life.
Took a lot of trips.
Yeah, and now they're suffering and they're living off the government and they're just not having good lives. And it is sad. It is. I do feel bad for them. But accountability is important. You can't
Yep.
blame everyone else for your actions, and a lot of people like to do that.
Gotta
We're
invest.
unlisted, right?
See what?
You don't have to end it. You just change it real quick.
Oh, we're not even on?
You gotta edit it.
Son of a bitch.
I forget it does that.
Save it. Boom. Okay, that's fine. And
We back on?
yeah, we're back on. We're back on. We
See
should
if
be
I can
showing.
find it now.
We should be showing up.
Take
Yeah, there we
30.
go. Yeah, I see our stuff. So, I don't know. I'm excited for this new year. I'm gonna be investing as much as I can because the market already dipped. Interest rates were high, and we're starting to cut it. So I do believe if we can cut it at least 2 more times this year, upcoming year, the market will like actually be like slow a little bit and going up, and can do a good curve,
Hey, there we are.
right?
So when is that gonna happen?
Well, you got to see the first quarter is probably going to show a lot. Like the first 3 months of this year,
Really?
it's going to show a lot whether or not, they're going to, because inflation was lower than expected. If we can, bless you.
Bless you.
If, bless you
Bless
again.
Thank you.
If we can show that we can still cut rates and inflation's not like skyrocketing, it's going to be huge for us. Now, hopefully we can react to Wall Street bets. We got to see.
Well, yeah, we'll see how that goes.
So
Let's see what's
go
happening
to
with it.
OBS real quick. See how that works.
Stream's back
No,
on.
not yet for that. We gotta, 'cause they don't show that. So make sure it was still going. And then
Show must go on.
Windows capture. Probably have the volume not too loud on it because I don't want to be picking it up. To be, just hit play.
You want to adjust the volume?
Yeah, probably at the half right now. And hit play.
Year, we watched millionaires evaporate on single options plays. We saw Wendy's
do that.
paychecks turn into down payments, and we witnessed the
Well, we can go back
rise
to
and
the thing.
fall of
It
many
knows where
gay
we're going.
bears and diamond-handed apes alike. In both bull season and bear season, one thing remained constant in the Wall Street Bets subreddit:
Yeah, looks good.
pure, beautiful, unhinged chaos. Today we're
Why don't
looking
you
at the
zoom in?
best, the worst, and the most regarded moments of the year. I've compiled here the most catastrophic losses and impressive wins of 2025
There you
in
go,
Wall
that's right
Street
here.
Bets for a 2025 Gigastonks year in review. It's going to be a wild ride from revisiting classic stories covered
Yeah.
earlier in the year to new
Wanna skip
DJs
forward
who
a
just
little bit?
recently jumped on the short bus en
Yeah,
route to the moon.
it's like little things.
Let's dive in. First up on the deck
This
today
one,
is user puts with varying strikes and expiration dates. At first, things didn't go so well for OP. As Tesla soared, Wall Street Bets predicted he would be down $40,000 or $50,000. OP
Jesus.
replied, "Not quite that much," only to confirm the next day that he was indeed down $50,000 on
Wow.
his gay
I
bear
cried,
position.
bro.
OP took a break from Reddit for a while, almost a year actually, only to return in February of 2025 to call all recently separated fiancés and exclaim that he had turned 94K into 240K with Tesla puts. The strikes on these looked a little more reasonable, and the gains, while unrealized, were looking pretty juicy, boasting 2 to 3x on most of his put positions. And then 2 weeks later, on March 10th, OP returned to show us that his original 94K position was now worth over $600,000, with
Wow.
$270,000 of those dollars being made in just the last few hours. Pure profit. The Tesla chart shows a nasty dip in
love
late
that.
winter, which
That would be
explains his
awesome.
profits as he was in a put position, followed by a rip
probably
back
held it for a
upwards to
while.
all-time highs in the underlying for the rest of the year.
Oh,
I'm a
his
little
put?
concerned
He
as to
did?
whether
Yeah.
OP decided
Yeah,
to
yeah.
cash
Doing all
out
the
or not,
puts.
but the apes were more worried as to whether OP said thank you to Elon.
Imagine being able to build an app with
Wait,
your name
okay.
on it just by
So
thinking about
what
it.
exactly is this?
Meet
This
Base
is-
44.
Wall Street Bets. It's like a
It's an
place where
account
people
or
get-
like
it's
what
like
is
a
it?
Reddit thing where people gamble. There is a Discord for it, but the Discord's like really stupid. You will lose money
It's,
listening to these people.
yeah, it's toxic.
Yeah, you will lose money. These people are like cuckoo.
So it's like a Reddit community.
These people post like, it's like they'll post their losses and their gains, and these people must hate themselves.
There was,
Now, I would like to hope they're editing it, doing like inspectment, and they're editing it, and that's just not real. I hope
Right.
stuff is.
well, there was one video him and I were watching when we were setting up the stream.
Yeah.
The guy had, I forgot how he got the money, but he had like 60 grand. And he
Right.
slowly turned that 60 grand into like
It was
500,000.
2 million in the end.
Well, no, well, yeah, that's the thing. But here's the thing: he went from 500,000 to like 900,000 to like 1.3 million. Lost that to like 200K, then to
What?
50K, and then he didn't give up, and then that ended up going up to like, I think
0.5 or 1.7.
1.5 mil, and then
Wow.
it jumped again to like 2.4.
So can you imagine that? Like
I could
you start
not,
off
no.
like 50, coming a multi-millionaire, losing almost all of it, then becoming a multi-millionaire again.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's the
couldn't
thing. The guy
imagine it.
couldn't eat, sleep, or anything. He was up like.
Yeah,
I
he
know.
didn't. He
Watching it.
didn't give up.
I'd
Yeah.
have been
Didn't give
geeking,
up.
dude. Oh my goodness, that's insane. Lose
Yeah.
that much money overnight? Oof.
Are you also watching it?
Yeah, of course.
So am I.
Gotta make sure it actually works this time, right?
Yeah, you
It
gotta
looks like it's working. That's why I'm having it on there so I can check.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's smart.
Just keep watching. Let's see how this goes.
Right?
Our next
Usually
trader
not a
on
happy
Santa's
ending
nice
for
list
you.
this year.
Yeah, look like this. Look at the thumbnail. That's usually what happens. You see something like that where it goes up 200%
Right.
or 1,000%.
And remember, it's leverage, so the stock itself's not going up that much.
Right, of
Down
course
that
not.
much. It's just leveraged.
Right, right.
Yeah.
But leverage
Is
you lose a
past
lot quickly as well.
3569. His Reddit history starts 2 years ago when he accidentally stepped on a snail and took to Reddit to ask what the green and red stuff was around the snail. Spoiler, it was snail shit. His portfolio, however,
Okay.
has only been pooping green and has been moving a little faster than your average snail. OP bought into Palantir around $6 per share, and for those of you living under a rock,
Palantir?
Palantir is
Wow.
now trading around $180. He's now sitting on an 80K unrealized gain, but Wall Street Bets was quick to point out the micro position of about 1% in Tiger Brokers. I mean, the stock hasn't performed too bad either, but I have to ask, why? If you're 99% in a single stock, why would you hold this secondary micro position?
That is
Easy there with the
interesting, actually.
diversification, one commenter pointed out, and another wrote, it's for those with no conviction. And user 1JB has a history of getting absolutely smoked on, well, everything from election bets to earnings plays on Spotify. Already
Wow.
well in the hole this year, he put the rest of his margin balance on SPY puts last week, trying to make it all back. On Black Friday, he didn't realize the markets closed
Oh
early,
my
and he had
Gosh.
This is where Harley's wondering if some of
Oh,
the
that's
stuff was
negative
just-
too. So you put a call, so you're betting it goes up,
Right.
and a call at the worst that can happen, it goes to zero. A
Right.
put can go negative, meaning
And
you
don't you owe money? Yeah, you owe
you can
money.
owe
So
money.
like you have to pay it? Oh, that's crazy. What?
That's why he was saying he's hoping people like do the little inspect thing on
Yeah.
the Chrome tabs because
That's
it's
the
like, look
negative.
at those numbers.
Yeah. I
That
know.
means he owes 139,000.
That doesn't even make sense, dude. Holy crap.
That actually, yeah, that does look like kind of iffy. That negative
that
number.
looks fake as fuck, dude.
Because it shows that -12, -15. There must be a bunch of others. -23. How do you get to -139? Hit play. That looks
Yeah.
like a little weird.
Had to hold out of the money
It
puts
says
over the
200K
weekend. You would have known
evaporates.
the market had closed early if you were just in the Gigastonks Discord server.
Okay,
Just
well,
saying.
let him
And just
promote
yesterday,
Super
one
Watching
JB
it.
posts another 200 down the drain. My first thought when I saw
Another.
this
Just
post and
like
didn't know
that,
his story
another
was
200
just
kills.
200. Why are you complaining about this? But it was my smooth ape
hope they're,
brain
like, fake
mistaking the
accounts, too. Like, I
200
really
figure
hope
for
that's not
200
for
bucks,
something else.
when in reality OP lost $200,000. So how the hell do you manage to
Wow.
flush that much down the drain so quickly? OP had puts on SPY and QQQ both, betting against the USA in the midst of a bull run and trying to catch a crash that never came. Betting against the US like this during a holiday rally is like betting against Santa on Christmas Eve. You're just going to get run
Claus.
over by the sleigh. Fellow ape financially thriving had the same reaction that we all did. Another $200 loss is not a big, oh my lord, what have you done? Code Spider,
Another
another fellow
$200
poor bag,
loss.
chimed in. Yeah, I lost 200 bucks on Goog puts today, so I feel your pain. It's basically the same thing because zero has no real value. But Site Corporate went a lot deeper, diagnosing OP with late-stage degenerative gambling addiction.
He went fucking past 0.
Wad
dude.
100 has a micro strategy to match his micro PB. His
Went
story went from
2.5
good to
million.
bad to ugly really quick. It started with BITF calls that were actually up over 1,000%. OP quickly turned 3K into 43K, but unfortunately never told us if he sold. On September
so what is
25th,
this?
Wad
What-
had a new
What
crypto-related
exactly
strategy.
is that? How do you turn $3,000 into
So
40K?
usually they buy like zero, like, so it's riskier stuff. So they buy options contracts
Right.
that are much closer to an expiration date.
Right.
So, like, that day or next day.
Oh, yeah.
So if it goes up in the direction they need, it's like amplified.
right.
So like the movement is so much. Some people earn like 200% or 60% in a day.
Wow.
But they can also lose everything if expires worthless, right?
Exactly. Wow.
And it's gambling.
Okay, so that's why it's super risky.
Yeah, that's why I don't do that no more. I do leaps.
Mm-hmm.
The
What?
premium's a lot higher, but it's safer. Like, let's be realistic.
Gotcha.
In 2 years, Apple is probably gonna, if I do deep in the money, my break even needs to go up what, 5% in 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, Apple, or like, let's say I have Nvidia and Google. Like, Nvidia is probably gonna go up more than 5% over the next 2 years.
Right. And so in the next 2 years, let's say it goes up 10% over the next 2 years.
Well, it's probably going up a lot, but it usually goes up like over 20 to 30% each
Okay,
year.
well, fucking, it's 40% higher in 2 years.
I'll make a lot.
That makes a
but
lot.
on the percentage, sure. Like, I'll
Right.
probably make like, if this goes up, I'll probably make like 80 or
Okay.
more, like 100. It'll double it maybe,
Wow.
depending on like where it is, right?
And you just have to sit on it. That's it.
Yeah, and just not try to look at it when it goes down.
Yeah.
I'm up on my Nvidia one. I wish I bought more, but my
Yeah.
Google one, when it dipped, like Google dipped, I wish I bought more, but I
Yeah.
didn't. I wish I did.
Okay, I gotta get on this year then.
Yeah, because that's the beauty. Because like when him and I did options the first time around,
Right.
we were like pulling our hair out when they don't market open at 9:30. You paid in, and by like 10:30, if you see negative and you're losing $600, you're like pulling your hair out, like
Ooh.
stressing. But with that, it's like, okay, if it's today's bad, but then in a week, okay, I make $600, or next week I lose $200. Unless I sell, it's like
Yeah,
it's
you
not
just-
final.
you're
But I
Dollar
had
cost
up
bag
until-
holding.
Dollar cost averaging is important. Like if it dips, and the issue is I no one here has infinite money, right?
Oh yeah,
And I would say the risk of it is, I don't know how to say it. It's like you don't want to over leverage, but if it goes down, you want a dollar cost average. You have to like wait until you have a certain level to where you feel comfortable buying more.
that's the thing.
Because if like it goes down and so you're negative 1,000, you do more, and then it goes down even more, it's going down double fast.
Right, exactly. And then you end up owing.
And then you
right?
always get upset when it goes back up. You're like, damn, I wish I bought more.
Exactly.
Sounds like crypto.
Crypto's there's like leverage stuff. Like there's futures.
Yeah,
for crypto.
absolutely,
And
100%.
futures is
They
insane.
get wrecked.
But futures you can only hold for like I think 3 months.
Yeah.
Like I think maybe some are like you can go further, but I don't know. I wouldn't do that for crypto, man. That's risky.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right, especially with all these fat dips they're taking lately.
I was gonna say with
Well,
Bitcoin,
Because like it's going because the resistance and support level for Bitcoin is just they're right next to each other. Let's say like 86, 87, or like 86 for like the literal like strong part of the support, and like what 90 for like or 80 no okay 86 to 87
Right.
for the support, 88
The
to like
ceiling?
90
Yeah,
for the
90 is like the
resistance.
ceiling right now.
Yeah.
It's hitting that ceiling.
But as soon as it
hard.
goes to 88, people are selling a little bit. And once it gets to 90, a lot more people are selling, taking profit.
Right.
And when it gets to like 86, 87 area, like you know, people are buying, so it holds it up.
Right.
But dude, it's a small one, and it's bouncing more at the freaking bottom than it is hitting the top.
Yeah.
So, but it needs to hold genuinely above 90
Well,
for
I
a good
mean,
bit. No, because the reason being is if it can hold above 90 for a certain amount of time, that means everyone who already took profit.
mm,
So it means the downward pressure is going to start getting lower, while the upward pressure is going to push past it, which puts it in a bullish trend. Now, if it dips below 86, I think it's going down to 80.
don't
Yeah,
say that.
I
They'll be
believe
mad
so.
at you. They'll be
But hey, if
real
it goes
mad at you
past
for that.
90, I think it can go to like 90, 98, maybe 100.
Mm.
But 100 is definitely going to be a big resistance ceiling. That's going to be mentally huge.
Yeah, just gotta wait and see.
That's the thing.
Especially, hey, it looks like all the wars and whatnot are starting to calm down, so maybe that'll boost
I think
the
most
global
people care
economy.
less too. It's like
Yeah.
because our stuff, but like it's sad, but no one really cares about the Russia-Ukraine war. It's a bunch of bots yelling at each other. If you
Oh
really-
yeah, yeah.
if you really think about it.
drones.
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
drone
Well, I mean,
warfare.
like in comment
Oh,
sections, there's
you
just
mean
bots.
the comment
Oh, yeah.
sections, yeah.
Like there's a bunch of bots yelling at each other,
Yeah.
both sides, and they're both accusing each other.
Yeah,
of the
but I
same
mean,
stuff.
like-
it's a terrible war. I'm not getting too. It's not. We're not about that right now. But like it's
Yeah, but once all that stuff is over, shouldn't the economy start doing better, or like the global economy or whatever?
theoretically
I
we
mean,
need oil prices to go down, and I think genuinely the AI boom is gonna happen when they start opening the nuclear reactors.
I think so
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Because they already
That's what we
they own
need.
those companies, they bought them, and they
Right.
invested in them, and they're opening up these reactors, but
Yeah,
it takes a
aren't-
couple of years.
Aren't they starting one back up here in Florida, like an old one or something like
Yeah, but it's not for AI, I don't think.
that? Ah, man.
I know they're opening new ones for AI. They're personal for that. Probably gonna sell extra stuff because they produce a lot.
I mean,
But that's a lot of energy.
Man, that's a lot of energy.
That'll lower
Yeah.
they'll cut their costs for it by a lot. So I think it would be freaking huge for them. Let's hit play.
Yeah.
Let's see
That
how this
too.
goes.
Strategy as he threw $70,000 into MicroStrategy calls with a strike price of $340. At the time of his purchase, MicroStrategy was around $300 per share, and it actually jumped up pretty quickly. By October 6th, it was sitting close to $360, so now Wad's calls were well in the money. But by October 12th, there were some cracks that led to the massive crypto sell-off this fall, and MicroStrategy was no exception to this bearish trend, dropping immediately to $315. OP's calls were now worth only $61K, or about 12% down. Should I be worried, he asks? I'm very bullish on MicroStrategy. Wall Street Bets was
MicroStrategy is, like,
surprisingly not
invested in
concerned about these
Bitcoin.
calls decaying
Yeah,
further,
yeah, I know
and gave
that.
him the nod of approval
Michael
to keep
Saylor.
on holding. And hold he did. Actually, he doubled down the next day, now holding 30 contracts or about $100,000 invested in the MicroStrategy calls, and things started to go well for him. Oh, never mind, I just had the chart upside down. 1 month later, on November 11th, OP writes that he needs a miracle, with MicroStrategy priced that day at $231. The stock was taking a beating, and the calls were doing that much worse. OP's 100K investment was now worth just $13,000.
cried.
When asked, how does OP sleep at night, he exclaimed,
bridge.
under a bridge. Surely it couldn't get any worse, could it? OP returned just last week to write that he is indeed cooked. Now down to his final
He lost
$3,000
almost
and still
everything.
holding,
Wow,
OP Diamond
dude.
handed himself straight to the grave, or to right behind the McDonald's counter. I want some extra salt on my fries, bro. It's always clear what's best to do in hindsight, whether to cut losses on positions or hold them en route to Valhalla. You ever have a position that's printing for you and just going up, and you're thinking, man, just a bit more and I'll sell. And it does go up a bit more, but then you change your mind, you move your target. Might as well let it run, right? I Know Nothing, the fitting display name for user King No, rode the long wave from the very top to the very bottom. This screenshot will make any trader with a soul feel just a little bit of PTSD. Some of his worst losers included Nebius call debit spreads, Ulta call debit spreads, Five Below put debit spreads. At least his remaining $39 could get him something from the clearance section maybe. And most regardedly, OP writes that he made a bet that Joey Chestnut would eat 75 hot dogs at this contest and lost $1,400 when he failed. And yes, that's not only a real bet, but you can actually make those kinds of bets on Robinhood apparently. One wise trader,
Robinhood
rare in
now?
this subreddit,
Yeah,
he
they have
encouraged the
those.
24-year-old to
That's
stop with the options
savage.
and start buying and holding ETFs. Apparently, that's as good as telling an addict not to do crack though.
Robinhood is wild.
Next up in our Gay Bear Thanksgiving
Supposed to be investing,
extravaganza,
but now
we'll
they
meet
got you
highly
gambling.
regarded username OneMall4203. He is a longtime degenerate, as his first interaction with the Wall Street Bets subreddit was literally an interaction in person with J Powell. Chat activities for sure. OP had a chance to ask Powell one question, and he quoted Milton Friedman, asking about the Fed's role in reducing inflation. I'll leave Powell's answer here on screen if you'd like to pause and read it. The point is, this is not this ape's first time in the casino. After that, OP traded Tesla puts, followed by calls the same day to make $5K on each, but then immediately he got greedy and he lost $65,000 the following week. As one wise ape pointed out, OP ran up 100x, gained some karma, lost it all being greedy and reckless, and was back to the casino to do it all again. You've learned nothing. You, sir, belong here. OP definitely has had a gay bear tendency from the start, pocketing thousands on puts on stocks like Palantir, Tesla again, Uber, Coinbase. It looks like he got wrecked on this one. Oh wait, never mind. He tripled down on his 70% loss and turned it into a 100% gain. And then somehow,
Nice.
some way, got back in the hole with more coin puts, only to hold for a 100% gain again.
Yo,
Looking
these
through
people
OP's
are
post
insane.
history,
Where'd you
I've got to
find
give him
this?
credit.
That's what I want to
Oh
know.
my god, dude, this is crazy.
Or insane.
I couldn't even, bro. I would lose my soul losing that much money.
And he
Honestly.
doubled it. No, he quadrupled it. He made 100%, then he made another 100%.
Right.
So that's quadrupling it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
He has diamond hands, holding SPY 0 data expiration calls through a 50% loss just 1 hour before expiration to a 56% gain just 30 minutes later. And then this past January, highly regarded gave a speech on trinomial trees and options. Here we can see OP covering
I was,
intermediate
I
to
was.
advanced topics like implied.
That's what we did in the beginning,
Y'all
yeah.
boys are crazy. What the fuck is wrong with you?
But that's the thing, because it was the premium that we didn't want to pay at the beginning,
Right.
but now it's like, okay, we see it.
It makes
And
sense.
even Harley was saying too, it's like you
were
make
dumb.
money.
You were dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's a learning
that sounds
experience.
fucking nuts.
That was a learning
Yeah,
experience.
it definitely was a learning experience.
Yeah, you guys were buying fucking meme coins.
Pretty much equivalent.
Yeah. Basically.
All right, let's keep
That
going.
is so funny.
Volatility.
Dude.
Implied drift, implied risk-free rate, and implied downward price change probability. For such a smart guy, you'd think maybe he'd have a smarter trading strategy, right? Wrong. You see, OP was not only
Bro,
highly
Gay Bears
regarded,
is
he was
hilarious,
also very
bro.
gay and very bearish. And so it should come as no surprise that OP returned to Wall Street Bets yesterday to tell us that he made $18,000 on 0 data expiration SPY puts. He closed them earlier
Wow.
than he wanted to, but had started with just 4K less than a week ago. These are the exact contracts he bought, and it's clear why they rose in value so much. The S&P 500 has been getting absolutely wrecked for a week straight, and puts have been printing accordingly. Two traders in the comments exhorted OP to take a breather, writing, "Dude, you won. Cash out. Use 10% of that at most, and wait for the bloodbath to settle down. Advice I would give myself a month ago today." Time will tell whether OP heeds the advice, or jumps back in and exits filthy rich or penniless.
That sounds like
I made
fun.
it all back. What is
We'll
this
start
one?
with
I'm not
user
gonna lie, that sounds like fun, dude.
NoChef1680. He doesn't have much of a post history, so we're going to get
7
right to the
years
good
to
stuff.
break even.
OP posted,
Oh my
not to
God.
Wall Street Bets, but to the stock market subreddit. It's a slightly less degenerate, but just as greedy cousin of Wall Street Bets. OP exclaims in all caps, "Finally made all my investment back after 7 years." The first screenshot is
take out
actually the
inflation,
ending in
though.
the timeline, and it shows that he has $104,000 in his portfolio. And hang on, that's exactly the same amount that he had back in August of 2018. He even made $42.63
Well, it's not really
in the
realistic
process for his
because
troubles.
Robinhood-
A whopping
The percentage doesn't change. It's like weirding just your past stuff to where your current investment is. So if I put more money in, everything back to the beginning of the day shows that I have more money.
Right.
So it's not probably proper, but he did break even though, technically.
That's pretty
in
sick,
overall percentage value.
It looked like he lost it all and came back from the depths, dude.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
That's savagery.
You know what? Hey, he got his money back somewhat. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going.
whopping 0.01% compounding rate of return. That's a
Wow.
savings account rate of return if I've ever seen
Facts,
it, with a
literally.
lot of blood, sweat, and tears in the process. OP had ridden down to a low point in May of 2024
wow.
with just 35K left in his account.
Wow.
So after losing 2/3 of his portfolio, how did No Chef manage to gain it all back?
I would
OP
cry,
writes,
dude.
just posting to encourage people to be patient and don't gamble on options. I kept on losing all my paycheck savings into options, thinking one day, one trade would make all my money back. Turns out as soon as I started trading only stocks, I started steadily climbing back up. Today is a great day. Remember, this is not Wall Street Bets, and it lacked some of the edge, with mixed comments from all money back minus inflation.
That's what I
to,
said.
you have been given a second chance. Don't blow it. Learn your lesson and go buy index ETFs and leave it alone for decades.
Facts.
Our next case study is
That's
a Wall
crazy.
Street Bets
100K?
classic. The username is
Right, if you have 100K, you just put in like 7%, like, qualified dividends. That's 7K an extra you have a year.
Right.
You wouldn't pay tax on it because that's underneath the minimum capital gains tax.
Insane.
So that means all you need to earn, like, what? Say if you have 400K, just in general, 400K. It's not even being a millionaire. Let's say, what? 7% of that is 14, 28, right? It's like 28. Yeah. Yeah, 28,000. 28,000 a year.
With
That's-
400K?
Yeah.
Huh, that's not
20. You're not even touching the 400K.
bad. Yeah, that's a part-time job. Jesus.
Yeah, that's a part-time
Give or
job
take.
right there.
Crazy.
Dude, and think about it, if you have 600, that's literally like a full-time job.
Yeah,
There's an extra
literally.
another, what, 14? So that's 32.
I mean, yeah, that's a minimum wage job.
40K.
Right there. Yeah.
That's what?
Fuck, dude. That's nice.
Yeah, that's 40.
So I need to get 400K.
It's 49K, right? 48.
For
14 on top of, what was it, 28? So 32. No, it's 42. 42. Yeah, it's $42,000.
yeah.
Not bad.
$42,000,
That's a lot.
dude, for just sitting on your ass is pretty good.
That's pretty fucking
All you
great.
need is what, 600, which is obviously gonna work your way
Mm.
toward it, but you're not even a millionaire.
Right.
That's $42,000 going into your pocket, and then you're still not paying tax on it. I think if you're married
Ooh, I think you.
or single or whatever,
you
the
can live
minimum
off of that.
you have to make at least 90 something thousand, I think, each year in capital gains to pay tax.
That
So-
makes sense.
Okay, well that's really.
And if
good.
you're a millionaire, you get 7% is 70,000,
Yeah.
and that's pretty good. I'm telling you right now.
Mm.
And to be honest, if you can't live off $70,000, get a part-time job, I guess.
I mean,
And that'll put you what, pretty much at almost 100. And I'll be honest, guys, you can live off 70 unless you want to suffer and live in a city. Which, and if you like that, you like suffering, you like smelling poop, I guess, and having homeless people yell at you or while they're yelling at themselves, go right ahead.
I mean, hey,
Going 30 minutes home.
to each their own.
Yeah.
I love going, taking 30 minutes to go 5 miles.
Right.
Oh yeah.
It's like trying to drive down the Ave. Oof.
Gosh, dude, that's AIDS. Yeah.
AIDS.
I don't want
is
to
now
think about
deleted,
that.
but the post lives on. OP started with 70K, lost it all, 99% down to just $660. And in 5 days, using 0 data expiration options, his account shot up to over $250,000. I think he used ChatGPT or something to summarize his trades. It's written in the third person, and I'm not stupid. I see those M dashes, but still an incredible story.
Ballooned from 660 to 200K. It's
That's an incredible gain.
Gamma
How do you do
Scouts.
that?
So it's such a reaction. It's so amplified how fast it moves.
Wait, what? Say it again. You gotta speak up a little bit. I didn't hear you.
It is so amplified, right? And for like 0 days
Right.
expiration ones, that if it goes in your direction, you are making a lot of money. But then you can lose it all.
Mhm.
If you're like a rich person and you can just like throw like a couple $100 at it,
Yeah, just every day.
yeah,
It's
and
like a
you
lottery
you
ticket.
know what, maybe you'll make it if you're rich, but I would not do that. I don't have enough money that would risk it in that.
That's crazy.
Most of these people lose their money.
I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, if I lost 90% of my portfolio now, I don't know what I'd do. I would be in a very, very unhappy position. I'll tell you that right
I
now.
feel that.
I'll be.
You want to hit play?
Ready?
Yeah.
OP essentially just scalped and swing traded S&P 500 zero data expiration options on his road back to riches.
actually doing pretty
In
good for the
classic
stream,
Wall Street
too.
Bets fashion, user Pearstring
That's good.
replied that he'd turned 5K into just $4. Let me know if you can pull that off. To which OP replied that apparently in the
turned
past
5K
he
into
had turned
4.1.
$3.6 million into zero.
I
Might have a
turned
little way to
what?
go on the revenge arc.
3.6
When asked how
million
did he
into
rebuild his
zero?
confidence after that to start winning again, OP
I did
writes,
myself.
I'm a rich
I'd be
white
under
dude.
a
I've got
bridge
no
somewhere."
issue with confidence.
I'd be on the
and the
ground,
regard
blood
of the
everywhere.
year award
Yeah.
is going to go to Smart Money 243. I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I started looking into this guy's story, so buckle up. In August of 2023, he put his life savings into LLAP, a nearly bankrupt company then and a fully bankrupt company now, so that didn't work out too well for him. But the real fun began right before Trump's inauguration in January 2025. OP loaded up on $1.2 million of DJT calls with a strike price of $40. So at the money at the time, but certainly nowhere
$1.2
near even
million?
close to being in the money after the day he bought. They expire pretty much worthless in March, but OP knew it was over from just 1 to 2 days after buying them, writing, I know it's over. I've made the worst decision of my life. My money is already gone. The inauguration is priced in. My grandpa worked his whole life for this money, and it's going to all be gone. But the most motivating or sad part
Wait, did
comes
he take his
right at
grandpa's
the
money or his
end.
inheritance?
He writes,
It sounded like it was a mix. In the beginning, he talked about his inheritance money that he had. Now he's talking about grandpa's money, so I guess it ties in with it.
I mean, yeah, that's
Probably
the
inheritance.
Yeah.
That was like-
$1.2 million down the drain.
That's
dude.
what we were talking about these videos. It's like
I'd
crazy.
probably
Bro,
end
I would
myself.
so.
That is something where like I think suicide is like never the proper answer, but that would be a little bit more
Hey,
understandable.
don't get us flagged.
Because
bro.
that
Don't-
means you were a millionaire and you destroyed it because you
TOS,
just did something
TOS
stupid.
friendly words.
Okay.
Yeah.
Unaliving.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, okay.
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Don't forget about.
I don't think
Minecraft.
he should. I think it's a terrible thing. I think he should
Wow.
never gamble or talk to anything ever again when it comes to like the marketing. Just invest in S&P, but he should never give ever financial advice
$1
ever.
million you didn't have to work for, and then you just threw it all away.
You'd be surprised, dude. People
Crazy.
like there's kids who inherit like millions of dollars and they
I
throw it
wish.
all away.
Me too.
What? I wish, dude. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see what he does. See if he jumps off the.
I
Empire
don't
State.
care. I am holding until I lose everything.
Oh,
I am the
jeez.
captain of the Titanic, and I must go down with the ship. Let's face it, I will never take profit. I was already up 50%. I will just hold until it's gone and pray my grandpa forgives me. In my mind, the money's already gone. My life is ruined. I'm going to lose everything I have and become homeless. I will never sell
he
out
was
of
doing it for a
principle of this
political
matter.
statement.
Let me be a martyr for Trump's grift. I hate this man. He has helped ruin my life. Maybe after this, people will see who he truly is. I will sacrifice all $1
Did he do a
million
play or
to
something?
show that Donald J. Trump is a complete grift. You know it's bad when the Wall Street Bets comment section seemed like the reasonable one, but OP was sticking to his guns and never selling. OP then recorded himself instantly losing half of his grandfather's inheritance on Inauguration Day, bag on his head, voice altered,
What'd he
crying,
buy?
I'm sorry, Grandpa. I'm sorry, Grandpa.
I'd be
I've
crying
never
too.
quite seen anything like it, besides
That's a
maybe
call.
the moment. But OP still had 2 months to expiration and half of his
2
money.
months? Oh,
Cut the
come on,
losses and
baby,
move
you're
on,
tweaking.
right? Wrong. OP updates us that he is going to lose everything on DJT, now down nearly 700K by January 22nd, writing, I'm desperate and hopeless. Holy shit.
mean, you'll
This is
still have some
awful.
money
My life
left
is
if you
over.
sold
I
it.
can't sell at this point. I need to make it all back.
my
I feel
gosh.
sick in stomach. I have a major problem.
Bro,
I
he
can't
doesn't
stop
care about his
myself. I'm on a
grandpa.
slow
Stop saying
train
sorry,
moving to hell.
grandpa. If you cared,
Sorry,
you would've
grandpa.
not
By
have
this
done it
point,
in the
he was
first
getting
place.
much deserved flack by the community for having backwards priorities and, most importantly, pissing away a half century of his grandfather's labor. A day later, it seemed that OP might have had a tinge of self-awareness about the fact he was using his losses for attention, but being down 720K and 800K in the next few days alone confirms he had not learned a thing. He doubled and tripled down on his stubborn, imbecilic diamond-handed position, coping that his holding was, quote,
did he buy?
loyalty and courage, and
don't know,
following
it's
the
called
Bushido
DJT.
code.
think
And
it was
still,
something
despite
with
DJT
Trump.
dropping
Trump
from
coin?
over 40 to under
I don't
30 in just a
think
week,
maybe.
he was
It
convinced
was
Those
an
that
are
it
all
still had a
option
chance.
contract. It was a
Oh,
He
stock.
headed over
Oh,
to
it
the
was a
stock
stock.
subreddit with a duo of posts practically shilling for DJT at this point, hoping that there would be some way he could
DJT
claw
stock.
out of this disaster.
Shit it is.
But the stocks Reddit saw through it as well, even quicker than Wall Street Bets, and no surprise, the IQ is probably just a bit higher over there. OP's losses broke $1 million
He was
as
over
he held on to
1.17.
copium that he just
She's
let it go to
90
zero so
kilo.
his wife gets nothing in the
That's
divorce,
Trump
and
media
then
and
switched to shilling,
technology.
saying that DJT would skyrocket and that he would get it all back. The shilling turned to despair as OP writes, "How can this be happening? With the $1.2 million position now worth just 18K, down 98% all
I
time."
feel so
The
bad
comment
for
section
these- I
is
mean,
my
you know
thoughts
what?
exactly.
I feel bad for
You
his
still
grandpa.
held that? Holy shit. The crash out continued, with OP asking, "Why is it not pumping after the State of the Union? Only manipulation could possibly be keeping this suppressed. WT, WFT, WT, WF, WTTW." We then switched to Copium again with just 5K left in the account as OP writes, "I am proud to hold until zero. Thank you for everything you have done, President Trump. You are saving this country," which is weird because earlier he had said that he was doing this to stick it to President Trump for his grift. I don't know whether this exchange is sad or hilarious. OP thought the calls he put 1 million into actually went to Donald Trump directly. Maybe Trump was the one who sold the option. This hit OP like a ton of bricks when he realized that it may not actually be Trump that he's helping. He writes, "Now I've been informed that the money went to someone likely who does not like Trump since they bet against the stock. At least this is what I've gathered. I'm still a little skeptical because we don't know who sold me the
Your
calls.
grandpa did
Maybe
it
it
for
was
years,
Trump
though.
since it was his stock. You know, selling covered calls as a hedge. Either way, the lines have been blurred to the point where I feel like this was all for nothing." We then entered the bartering stage of grief for OP with $3,300 left to his name. He writes, "Is there any chance I can make it all back?" And then on March 13th, God quote unquote told him that DJT would be bought out for $100 per share. He took a quick break from finance shit posting to posting about actual shit in the homeless subreddit. "Why does my poop smell like spaghetti and meatballs?" I'm guessing that cardboard box of a house isn't treating OP too well. And then on the day of expiration, March 21st, OP wrote that the prophecy is coming true. DJT to 100 on March 21st when it was trading at like $20. Of course, DJT did not rise to $100 or even 50 or even 30, and OP's calls expired worthless, losing $1.2 million on his calls. But that wasn't the end
There's
of
no
the story.
happy ending.
You want to know the catch? It was all a troll. Smart Money 243 posts that he made a $166,000 gain in this time, not $1 million loss, on credit spreads. OP had over 1,500 credit spreads where you buy some calls and short some others. In this case, OP bought 1,654 $40 strike price calls and sold the same amount of
Oh, so he was memeing the
$37
whole
strike
time
price
'cause he was
calls.
editing it.
Because DJT
okay, you're
dropped,
right.
OP
Okay, yeah.
pocketed the difference in call prices. In this case, $166,769.
Who knows?
But he trolled us the whole time with his screenshots only showing the long call side of the spread. They did in fact lose money. Where he won was that the short side of the spread, which was the $37 calls, they also lost money, but since he had shorted these, he lost $1.2 million on the long side of the trade, and he gained $1.36 million for a relatively small profit in between. My favorite part of this entire story is that he got all of us really good, even after showing and exposing the credit spread troll operation that he had pulled off. Many in Wall Street bets still had no idea what the hell was going on. Well played on the 166K and the Reddit karma.
Credit spreads, I heard.
Trade futures on the go with Ninja Trader Mobile. Place trades with simple order management
How
tools.
long have we been streaming for overall? I think over an hour already.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is a good stream.
Because how long we streamed the first one? Like 20 minutes maybe? 15?
The first part, I think 20, 25.
Yeah,
Because we're at like 37 right now.
yeah, this is a good stream.
Yeah.
This is it. See, we need to do more stuff like this. That was
Yeah.
fun, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
That was
You think
really
it's good- you
fun
think it's a good
watching
time to-
that,
We can probably
dude.
end it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
before we end it, let's so go to OBS and
Alright.
like turn off the one thing. I'm gonna capture. Let's talk about how you guys should never do that. There are like smart ways for options. And I
What
think
not to do?
yeah, look at the financials of a company. Stop looking at like
No,
random
I-
meme stuff.
Yeah.
And like I understand like news affects things a lot, but they should have also good financials. And not only that, be smart. Make it at least a leap. I'm sorry, that premium's worth it. A leap's a little bit safer.
Right.
Not gonna get hurt as much from the like the theta decay, right? And credit spreads. That was not a bad idea on his part. That was not a bad idea. 'Cause if I'm correct, credit spreads are good because the only time it fails, if I'm correct, don't quote me on that. I gotta do research. I'll get back when we do next one.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure it only fails if it goes sideways.
Mm.
Because I don't know how much the profit margin is on that. But we'll talk about it next time. I don't want to like say it's wrong.
Yeah.
on this.
Let's look into it.
We'll
So-
revisit it.
Guys, I hope you have a wonderful New Year's. I don't know if we're gonna do the stream before I give them it's gonna be busy
Right.
tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Yeah,
Unless it's
tomorrow, no,
early.
I'll be busy.
Yeah, I think everyone's gonna be busy
We'll figure
tomorrow.
it out next week.
But I say God bless everybody. Hope you guys have a great New Year's and we all have a great actual 2026. The world does not fall apart and the economy rockets to the moon.
Exactly.
All right,
Fucking
God bless
moon.
guys.
Straight to the moon.
Peace.
Deuces.